In today's lesson, we're going to be practicing and using comparing lengths. We have a whole bunch of different things that we're going to do to help us learn about comparing. The first thing we're going to do is take a look at these lines up on the board and compare those two lines together. We're also going to look at comparing two different objects together. Then we're going to look at comparing three different lines and then comparing three different items. The last thing we're going to do is do some activities up on the board where we compare different lengths of items. This will help you get ready for the seesaw activity because that's what you're going to be doing after this video. It's important to learn how to compare measurements because we use them all the time in our everyday life. For example, if you were going on a road trip with your family, you might want to measure out the distances and find the shortest way to get there. A lot of the time when you're comparing two different lengths, you can pretty much do it by just looking at it with your eyes. I can tell by looking at this one that it's a lot shorter than the red one. So I'm going to be using my Legos from before to be measuring out each length, and we'll see which one is longer. So first, let's measure the blue one. It's important to have whatever you're measuring touch the end of the object. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So this blue line is 11 Legos long. Now let's do the same thing to the red line. Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. The red line is 18 Legos long. You'll notice that the longer line has a higher number for its length, and the shorter line has a lower number. So the number 11 is a lot lower than the number 18, which helps us know that the blue line is the shortest one. Like I mentioned before, we're going to start off by comparing two different objects at a time. So here I have two different pieces of Lego structures that I've built. This is the top one, and this is the bottom one. Which one do you think is the longest? If you said the bottom one, I would definitely agree with you. You can see that it goes out a lot further than this top one here, so that makes this bottom one the longest structure and the top one the shortest structure. So that same thing again where we're comparing two items at a time. This time it's going to be markers. Which one do you think is the longest marker? I agree. I think this top one here, the red marker, is the longest marker. And the blue one is shorter by just a tiny bit. So we're going to be doing the same thing but with three different objects this time. So when we do that, we're going to be putting them in order of first, second, and third longest. So the first longest will be the longest one, the second one will be the medium-sized one, and the third one will be the shortest one. These are the three Legos that we're using. Which one do you think is the longest Lego structure? I agree. I think it's this top one here. Now, which one do you think is the medium-sized Lego structure? This one is the medium-sized structure because it's only a little bit shorter than the longest one, but it is much longer than the shortest one, which leaves this Lego structure being the shortest one. Nice job. Now let's try this again. We're going to use another set of markers. These are the three markers that we're going to use. Which one do you think is the longest marker? Did you guess the purple one? I agree. Which one do you think is the medium-sized marker? This one here. And the shortest marker? You're right, it's this blue one here. So if we were to put them in order from longest to shortest, it would go purple marker, red marker, and then blue marker. When I hold them like this, now you can see how they get smaller in length. Now that we've done a great job doing this, we're going to move on. Now it's time to compare these different lengths of drawings that we have. So the first one that we have over here is a snake. So we're going to put a number 1 next to the longest one and a number 2 next to the shorter one. So let's see, which one is the longest snake, do you think? This one, and this is the shorter one. Right. So for this one, we have two trains. So we're going to put a number 1 next to the longest train and a number 2 next to the shorter train. Which one is the longer train? This one. And this one is the shorter train. Now over here we have 2 watches. Which one do you think is the longest watch? I agree. I think the bottom one is the longest watch, and that means that the top one is the shorter watch. Now we have 2 pencils here. Which one is the longest pencil, do you think? I agree. I think the top pencil is the longest one. So we'll put a number 1 here, and that means that this one is the shorter pencil. Now these ones down here are a little bit different. If you notice, there's 3 different items instead of only 2. So now we're gonna put them in first order, second order, and third order. Great work, you all did an amazing job following along with all those different things. So now it's time for you to go and do it on your own and do the seesaw activity. I hope this video helps you a lot, and if you need any more help, you can come back to the video and re-watch it if you need to remember some parts. I hope it helps you a lot, and I can't wait to see all of your seesaw activities. Bye!